Welcome to The Explainer. You know that feeling, right? When it seems like you and your partner are just speaking completely different languages when it comes to love? Well, today, we're diving into Gary Chapman's The 5 Love Languages to solve a puzzle that can honestly make or break a relationship.
So let's just dive right in. This question was actually asked to the author by a guy on his third marriage. And man, it just gets right to the heart of a problem so many of us face. And you see, this guy was just completely stumped. He genuinely believed he loved his partners. He really tried to show it. But something just kept going wrong. And it always ended the same way, with him and his wives feeling totally empty and unloved.
So here's the big idea, the real breakthrough. The problem usually isn't that the love is gone. It's a communication breakdown. It turns out we're all speaking these different love languages, and it's about time we figured out how to translate.
Now, this slide is just brilliant because it frames the problem perfectly. Seriously, just imagine trying to pour your heart out in English to someone who only speaks Chinese. I mean, you're being totally sincere, right? But the message, it's completely lost. Well, that's exactly what's happening in relationships every single day.
To help us get our heads around this, Chapman uses this great visual, the emotional love tank. Just think about it like a car's gas tank. If there's no fuel, you're not going anywhere, period. Well, it's the exact same thing with our emotional lives.
And, when that tank starts running on fumes, or worse, runs completely empty, that's when the problems start. For kids, you might see them acting out. But for adults, it just creates this atmosphere of resentment, bitterness, and this awful feeling of being totally alone in the relationship.
Okay, so that leads to a big question. Why does this seem to happen so often after the wedding? Well, it's because what we usually start out with, it isn't actually the kind of love that can go the distance.
That whole in-love feeling, it's basically a temporary euphoric state. It's like an obsession, and on average, it only lasts about 2 years. It's kind of an illusion. Real love, the lasting kind, that only starts when the butterflies fade. It's when we have to make a conscious choice every single day to care for another person, flaws and all.
So, okay, how do we actually do that? How do we make that choice to love in a way that actually works? Well, it all starts with learning to speak your partner's language. So let's dive into the 5 primary love languages that Chapman lays out for us.
First up, we've got words of affirmation. For people who speak this language, words are, well, they're everything. You know that old saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me? Yeah, for them, that is a complete and total lie. Words have this incredible power to either build them up or just completely tear them down.
And it's not just about saying, I love you on repeat. Not at all. It's about noticing the little things they do. It's about encouraging their dreams. It's about asking for things kindly instead of making demands. For this person, one single heartfelt compliment can literally fill their love tank for weeks. This is just a perfect example. Take the story of Allison. She had this secret talent for writing, but for years, she was just paralyzed by self-doubt. But then, her husband read some of her stuff, and he told her how wonderful it was. He encouraged her. And you know what? His words were the spark, the catalyst that launched her entire career as a writer.
All right, language number 2 is quality time. For these people, nothing, and I mean nothing, says I love you more than you giving them your complete, undivided attention. It's not about how many hours you spend together, it's about the connection you make in that time. Look, quality time isn't just being in the same room. It's about being present. It means putting the phone down, turning the TV off, and just talking. It means going for a walk together and actually listening to each other. You're giving them the gift of your focused self, and that's priceless. And this was the tragic reality for a woman named Betty. I mean, she had everything you could want, a beautiful house, a nice car, but her love tank was completely empty. Why? Because her husband, Bill, was a workaholic who gave all his focused energy to his job, and there was nothing left for her.
Okay, next up is receiving gifts. And right away, let's be clear, this is not about materialism. For someone who speaks this language, a gift is a physical symbol. It's tangible proof that you were thinking of them. The price tag means almost nothing. A flower you picked from the side of the road can mean more than an expensive diamond because it says, you were on my mind today.
And maybe the most powerful gift you can ever give? It's just your physical presence when things get tough. Just being there during a crisis. That sends the loudest message of love possible.
I mean, listen to this quote from Janice. Her marriage was right on the brink of collapse. Then her husband, Jim, figured out that her language was receiving gifts, so he started giving her these small, consistent little tokens to show he was thinking of her. And it didn't just save their marriage, it completely transformed it. Her love tank was overflowing. Language number 4 is acts of service. For this person, the old saying is 100% true. Actions speak louder than words. They feel loved and cherished when you do things for them. We're talking about cooking a meal, taking out the trash, basically just helping to lighten their load.
So this is love expressed by doing. And a lot of the time, it means forgetting about traditional roles or stereotypes and just asking a simple question. Hey, how can I help? Anything you do to ease their burden just screams, I see you, I care about you, and I'm in this with you.
This is what Mary said about her husband, Mark, but this was before they got married. Back then, he helped with everything, and it made her feel so incredibly loved. But after the wedding, he just stopped. And by stopping those acts of service, he unknowingly cut off her main supply of love. Her love tank just ran dry. So when you boil it all down, the takeaway is pretty clear. Real lasting love isn't something that just happens to you. It's not a passive feeling, it's an active choice. It's about choosing to become a student of your partner, learning their love language, and then making the decision every single day to speak it, even if it feels foreign to you. So I'm going to leave you with this question to think about. What love language do you speak? And maybe even more importantly, what language does your partner speak? Because figuring out the answer to that, well, it might just be the key to unlocking a connection that's deeper and more fulfilling than you ever thought was possible. That's all for this explainer.